You know, there's a lot of black people traveling all over the world, and that's a good thing. I love to see black Americans traveling and living their best life. I love to see that. But there are some black travelers that leave America, leave the Babylon system that we live in, leave racism, white supremacy, and they pass up all the black nations that they could have went visited to go to other European nations. Now, I want you to hear what this sister is dealing with in Macedonia. Let's roll that.
Do we experience racism in Macedonia? I would say yes. Out of all the countries I've been to, Macedonia has the kindest people, but I will say that we've experienced some forms of racism. Firstly, everybody stares at you. That's also an American thing because most people from other countries can tell when you're American, but if you're in Macedonia and you're black, they're gonna stare. I think the main form of racism that we experience here comes from being in stores. Every time we're in like a small market or pharmacy, we get followed around. Normally the security guards at the small markets stand at the front, but when we're in the store, they follow us everywhere. Also, on my first night here, I got accused of stealing. I went to buy chips at a bus station market and I had actually picked up a Twix and a chip bag before I went to the front. But when I got up there, I decided to put the Twix back. And when I was going to pay for the chips, the lady was like, chocolate, chocolate. I had to literally lift my hands up and be like, I put the chocolate back. And she looked at me like, oh, okay. So that was embarrassing, but that's about it.
So the question I have for black travelers, and I've seen some of your videos on YouTube, TikTok, etc. Why do you leave America to go to another country ran by Europeans, and Europeans are doing what Europeans do in relation to us as black folk, and you making videos about it? You could have stayed in America for that. At least in America, you have certain rights here that you can fight back on. At least you got some backup here in America with your community, right? But you go way over there to another country dealing with racism, white supremacy, and you have no backup and you have no rights in these countries. That's the crazy part. And what I don't understand from a lot of y'all, why do you pass up all these black nations? I don't get it. The African continent, the Caribbean, any other black nations, you can go to some in South America. They got some of the most beautiful beaches, resorts, nice places to stay, and you pass all it up, and you don't have to worry about being followed in the store. I've never been followed in the store in an African country. Not once. Have I ever been looked at funny? I just came back from Kenya. I was in several stores. Nobody followed me around. Nobody looked at me funny. Nobody did anything to me other than telling me, Jumbo or Asante Sana. In other words, hello and thank you. Or Caribou, welcome. Things like that. Nothing was bad out of the situation. If I want to go deal with that issue and problem somewhere else, I'll just stay here in America. You wasting money to travel somewhere else to be discriminated against? That's dumb to me. That is dumb. Like, don't you get enough of that mess in America? Why are you gonna go somewhere else? But see, some of you, this is the thing with some of you black folk. You want to be around white mommy and daddy, and you can't be away from them. So you're thinking, let me go to Europe and go to another one because maybe they're a little bit different than the ones in America. Because from what a lot of Europeans say, America is real in your face, which it is. It is. But they got their racism too. It's just like the Africans that went to Ukraine. They found out real quick what happens to Africans in Ukraine when everything went down. Dogs got on them trains before they got on it. They left Africans in a war zone. And same thing I say to Africans. Why in the world are you running to a European country? You got other African nations that's doing very well you could have went to. Why are you staying on the continent? Staying with your people. But I'm not about to pay thousands of dollars in plane tickets, hotel, or wherever else I'm going to stay to be discriminated against. I'm not. I'm going to go live good. Listen, we have a new channel called Malume's Exodus. That's my channel. I'm doing all my travel on, whether it's in the United States or throughout the world. I have 2 videos and I got a lot more coming from Kenya. Go look at that apartment that I stayed in on that channel. Go look at it. That was an apartment that I stayed in Mombasa, Kenya. Fly as hell. Fly. Good view. Everything. Why? I ain't had to go to Europe to see any of that. I'm not even trying to be in Europe like that. I'm not saying I won't go visit, because I am going to go, but I'm going to go and find the people though. That's my purpose of going. Go and visit these places and find the community so I can have all that documented, right? Because we all over the world. But what I'm saying is this. Don't leave America to go deal with more racism. At least stay here, and at least you got some rights here. Because that's just kind of silly. If you can't stand being away from, white mom and daddy, I guess so. I just don't relate to that. I like being with, the people. I like being in Africa. Like I said, I feel more free. I feel so much better when I'm there. The air is different. The food is different. My skin color changes when I'm over there. That melanin, just activates to that African sun. Like I said, I'm just saying, if you're not gonna stay in the United States, if you want to leave, then go somewhere like that, or even go to the Caribbean is fine, right? But leaving here to go deal with some racism. The reason why I don't talk about Latin America a whole lot is because there's a lot of racism there too, a whole lot of it. So why would I leave America to go live in a place where they looking down on me too? Sorry, I'm just not doing it. If I'm gonna fight some racism, I fight it in America. I'm not about to leave this country and go somewhere else and fight it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about, what this sister is talking about here. Like, sister, if you see this video, visit an African country. There's so many African countries that's real nice, as you can see.